The places that we are from shape our understanding of everything. Culture is not innate. We don't get to choose where we're born or how we're raised. Culture is learned, and for our whole lives, this will shape our perception of the world. But it doesn't have to define it. I think the place that I'm from, the geography of it and the way the economy is so dependent on outsiders coming in is kind of an incubator, especially for younger people to feel stuck. I know this was the case for a lot of people I went to high school with, and that's not to say that we don't like it here. I don't think that's the case at all. But I think, especially in the summertime, it can be really hard to have all of these people coming in and traveling here, but to have us be the ones that have to stay here to cater to everything that they need, especially for students whose vacation time is often centered around catering to these tourists, it can be really hard to get out and actually explore the world. And that is where study abroad comes in. So I was incredibly lucky to have spent my spring of 2025 in Viterbo, Italy. A smallish city in central Italy, Viterbo is home to a beautiful medieval city center and is a short trip away from many places, including the Mediterranean Sea and Rome. But more than the city itself, it was the people I met there that made this trip really special. I was super lucky to have been placed with a host family along with another student in my program, and this really couldn't have been a better experience. I learned so much about Italian culture from my host parents and really got to experience authentic Italian life with real Italians, which was amazing. I learned so much about how Italian life functions and how the Italian household functions, and all of these interesting things that is hard to learn from an outside perspective. I also feel extremely lucky to have met all of the amazing people in my program. There were students from literally all across the US, from Maine to Alaska and everywhere in between, and I made so many amazing friendships with these people. I think from meeting all of these people from all across the country, I was able to get a much better picture and understanding of American culture. I know when you're inside this culture, it can be kind of hard to take a step back and actually kind of understand the inner workings of it. But when you are able to take that step back, it can be really illuminating. I know there were lots of instances where I realized how similar people from across the country are. Like, there's this weird Mainer phrase that we say here that my friend from South Dakota also says, and I thought that was really random and funny. But then at the same time, I would tease him over his pronunciation of the word bagel. He would say bagel and claim there wasn't a difference. Zach, there is a difference. So I studied abroad with a program called USAC, and I honestly could not recommend them more. Every single USAC staff member I've ever interacted with or worked with has been super helpful and friendly and just wants people to study abroad and have a great experience. USAC has programs all across the world, and they are generally pretty affordable. Of course, if you're coming from limited financial resources, study abroad can seem really daunting and can feel really unattainable, and that is where the Gilman Scholarship comes in. There are many study abroad scholarships out there, but the Gilman Scholarship specifically caters to students with high financial need. So if you are a U.S. citizen or national who is an undergraduate student in good standing and you are the recipient of a federal Pell Grant, then you are most likely eligible to apply for the Gilman. This program provides up to $5,000 to fund your study abroad experience with the intention of supporting you to gain career skills and global networks that helps with your professional development and the U.S. economy. And the Gilman Scholarship caters to students from diverse backgrounds, with over 70% of students coming from small towns or rural communities. These are areas that are underrepresented in study abroad due to financial constraints or simply a lack of awareness, and I think they're often places that are misrepresented in media as well. So this makes it even more important for students from these areas to get out and study abroad to be proper representatives of their culture. I was incredibly lucky to be awarded a Gilman Scholarship of $3,000 with the promise that I would help spread awareness of the affordability of study abroad and the possibilities that you have to go out and explore the world through a study abroad experience. I learned so much from my time in Italy and beyond, and I genuinely believe that it changed my perception of culture. When you're able to recognize that we are all products of the culture we were born into and understand those preconceptions of what is considered normal or right, if you can step back and realize that everyone else was also born into these preconceived notions, then you might find yourself open to experiencing the world through a new lens.